A couple of weeks ago, I paid a visit to my old home city of Liverpool, and there was a fantastic vibe in the city as it was hosting the Eurovision Song Contest on behalf of Ukraine. Now, I didn't have any tickets to any of the concerts, but I just wanted to be there to soak up the overwhelmingly happy atmosphere and to get some footage of this historic week. Now, you might be wondering, what the heck has any of this got to do with the release of the Apple Vision Pro? Well, it will become clear, trust me. Now, of course, this isn't a review of the Apple Vision Pro because it hasn't even been released yet. And neither is it a predictable attack on Apple for producing overpriced gadgets for people who have more money than sense, blah, blah, blah. Instead, I'd like to concentrate on what it is about the Apple Vision Pro that might help it succeed where all other headsets seem to have failed, and that is in becoming a mass market item. And will it therefore reach the lofty heights of changing the way we as humans interact with computers forever? Because essentially that's what this thing is, a computer that you wear on your head. But first, let me tell you about my relationship with AR and VR. It's non-existent. To tell you the truth, I've always had a sort of not really bothered attitude to AR and VR. I must admit that I did own a GameCube once, but after blowing up the Death Star in Star Wars Rogue Squadron, after a week of trying, I questioned the nature of my reality and the valuable time I could have spent doing anything else but gaming. Sorry, gamers. That's because up until now, I've really seen headsets as more of a hindrance than a help when it comes to AR and VR. They're hot, they're heavy, they become caked in body gunk of one sort or another eventually, and also they do have the potential, don't forget, to make you feel sick. But maybe some of the people buying this first generation of Vision Pro will be able to get their butler to help them clean it after each and every use. And Apple claimed that the Vision Pro has such low latency that motion sickness might become a thing of the past. But still, we do have the weight issue. Now, some people invited to the Apple event said that this thing is fantastic, but it is heavy. While others said that they were so impressed by the experience that the weight just magically drifted from their minds, defying the laws of physics. But to be fair to Apple, any company is going to struggle to get all of this technology into a very small space that fits on your head right now. So for a while, it is going to look clunky and awkward. Did anybody else think of the Minions at this point in the keynote? However, over the next decade, with advances in AI combined with people and their human brains, I'm sure that some amazing materials that we haven't even dreamt of in the past will become available, and this thing might well indeed become the size of a pair of glasses. And speaking of glasses, and I wear them myself when I'm not making videos, I think that anyone who does wear a pair of glasses might be slightly confused as to how the whole glasses fitting custom thing is going to work. I mean, do you just take your prescription into Apple and they just fill the prescription out with the Carl Zeiss lenses? I just don't know. Is it going to cost hundreds of dollars more? And given the fact that I wear glasses and I change my prescription on average once every 2 years, am I going to have to shell out loads of money again every time my prescription changes? But let's look past the form and even the price of the Apple Vision Pro at the moment, and let's see what Apple are actually offering. Why are they putting all this technology into this form factor at this precise moment? Well, unlike previous headsets, the Vision Pro isn't just being pushed as a glorified entertainment device, but something that eventually will replace all of your other computing devices and fundamentally the way you interact with them. Now, even though we've seen much of this technology before, Apple just seemed to have brought it all together under one slick Mac OS banner. And in doing so, not only have they made major refinements to things such as eye and gesture control, but also at the same time introduced really impressive things like the breakthrough mode, where people who want to interact with you can, well, break through into your field of view. Of course, we had the bit about 3D movie entertainment and VR, immersing yourself in a massive wraparound landscape. But primarily, the Vision Pro seems to excel as an augmented reality device, enhancing your world rather than completely obscuring it. And here's where I finally make the connection with my trip to Liverpool. When it comes to VR, again, I'm really not much of a fan. As unless it's combined with some kind of mind-altering drug, how can it ever really be said to be real? And I'm not sure I'm quite on board with reliving moments of my life in 3D. I find it a bit Minority Report. I actually lived my experience of Liverpool, being in the moment, as the Buddhists say, but it doesn't necessarily mean I want to relive those moments over and over again. I enjoyed my trip to Liverpool because I was experiencing it at the time and it was of a fleeting nature. And hopefully I've got a lot more real experiences that I'd like to have, not just sitting on my couch reliving them. And when you really think about it, how many people even watch their wedding video more than twice? And that's supposed to be the happiest day of your life. And by the way, I graded all of my footage with Dehancer Pro. Dehancer Pro is a fantastic film emulation software with over 50 film stocks, amazing grain and halation tools, and so much more to give your plain old videos the film look we all love. And I'm glad to say that I'm a proud Dehancer affiliate. Use the code in the description at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. Now back to the Vision Pro. But I think the most outstanding thing about the keynote are the improvements in augmented reality, and I really think it's going to take the Vision Pro into the next level. And I'm sure it's going to make this technology more attractive than ever before to industrial and corporate clients, who, just on the strength of the keynote, might even buy the first generation Vision Pro en masse. It's a bit like some of the most forward-thinking delivery companies who are transitioning to electric vehicles, even though most of their customers aren't. Now, one fly in the ointment is that because of this hands-free magic that Apple have produced, we don't have any haptic feedback, and that certainly is something that going forward, industry demonstrations and gaming will demand. But I think down the line, Apple are going to have to address this, and sooner or later we're going to see some nice little designer Apple mittens to go along with the Vision Pro. So what does the holy grail of mass market take-up look like, and will Apple actually succeed? Well, this is still going to be a hard sell, for now, and that's simply just because of the size, weight and price of this device in its current form. But I think we've all seen enough for now to realise that advanced gesture control, eye tracking, and even Siri when it gets better, really are the future of human interaction with computers. But of course, I'd like to know your thoughts on the Apple Vision Pro. Have Apple gone too soon with this device? Will it really replace all of the other Apple items in your house? Or is it too big, too clunky, and too expensive, and you're going to wait for the 10th generation? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.